So that's Butterpot Provincial Park. Slept like a rock last night. The bicyclist, one of the bicyclists from yesterday, came up and said hello this morning. We chatted for a bit, and he said, yeah, that was a pretty challenging road. I guess some campers come in with trailers through that road, basically making the same mistake that I did. And I can't imagine trying to get a vehicle with a trailer behind it down that road. That would be just as terrible, because there's no way they could turn that around. Well, you're kind of committed once you're on that road, because it's so narrow, and there's no way I was going to try to turn that bike around. Although I did, halfway through where I met the bikers, there was an open patch where I was contemplating turning around and making a retreat. I'm glad I didn't at the end, but it was a close call. So people have heard about this weather moving in tomorrow from a hurricane coming up the Atlantic, and it sounds like the further west I go, the better off I might be. So we'll see. Let's see if I can get a more detailed weather synopsis when I get better connectivity. I'm headed to the highway, this is the way out, which should have been the way in last night. So I'm very curious to see what it looks like coming from the other direction. Well, at least there's an entrance sign, or for me an exit sign. Butterpot Provincial Park. What an experience. The park was nice. Well, this entryway is a little more what I was expecting yesterday. Coming in through the back door was not the way to get into this park. Oh my gosh, it's paved and everything. That's crazy. I am thoroughly confused, because this is a paved entrance onto the highway, and I did not see this yesterday at all. I wonder if it just, I don't know, very odd. Alright, in any event, I'm headed west on the Trans-Canadian Highway for only 4 kilometers plus, so I've been here very long, and I'm back onto the secondary roads. Approaching Petty Harbor. Somewhere out here is Cape Spear. Still haven't seen a sign for Cape Spear, but have seen signs for Petty Harbor. It's not too far away from there. Very pretty area between the rocks and the water. I got my sunshine back, at least for today. That's going to be Petty Harbor. Welcome to St. John's. Cape Spear. There we go. I'm on the hunt now. It's to the right, which is what I would expect. I am on Cape Spear Drive. And there we are. There's my destination, without a doubt. Cape Spear. Still an active lighthouse. Look at that. Gun placement. recap. Over the last 18 months, I went to Blaine, Washington, San Ysidro, California, Key West, Florida, and Madawaska, Maine, four corners of the United States of America. And I was in Kansas, the geographic center of the 48 contiguous states. But I'm not sure any of that matches this spot here in Newfoundland, which is the easternmost point of the continent of North America. It's a great day today. There's a hurricane that's potentially going to threaten this end of the island of Newfoundland tomorrow. So I'm going to start heading west to try to get out from that potential storm. They're predicting high winds and driving rain. My way to Signal Hill, which is another site that Marconi apparently used in his efforts to establish permanent communications via wireless with Europe. There we are, Signal Hill, National Historic Site of Canada. I had a quick lunch at the visitor center, and now I'm heading up the hill to visit the historic site. Unfortunately, I didn't get much time to spend in St. John's visiting the park here, having a lunch and looking at the Marconi exhibit. It's now 2:30. I still have 3 hours of riding, so I got to get underway. Also ran into a couple bikers that pulled me aside, and we chatted for about a half an hour or so, which is always fun to do. But it chewed up my time for going into St. John's and exploring it a bit. That's okay. So I'm on an unpaved road for about 5 kilometers to get back to this park. So far the road is in pretty decent shape. It's getting late in the day. Got to get my tent set up and get some chili for dinner. Some homemade chili, the way the supermarket described it, so it's not in a can, but it does need to be heated up. And I've got a reservation here at the park that my wife made me. The GPS was going to take me in a different direction again, like it did last night, so it's not entirely trustworthy, at least in terms of where the location of these parks are. So I called it up on my phone, and there was a sign out by the road which agreed with what the phone was saying. So I don't know what's going on with my Garmin, but I think I'm on the right path. I'm sure you could ride this with just a regular street tire, but having these 15% off-road, 85% road tires just gives me a little bit extra tread and comfort on a road like this. And it is a much more aggressive tread than a normal street tire has. Oxen Path Provincial Park, 1 kilometer.